Can we just talk about the fact that they had a sub and still won the first round of theirs? That's like that's crazy. That I'm actually even more excited about this then, because if you can do that well with having a brand new person that was not practicing with you, that's really, really impressive to see. But we see the first bans. TF2 Boomers banned Paradox, Hydra Nation banning Bebop, and picking Mirage first. What do you think about that Mirage pick being the first choice that they made?
Mirage is an interesting first choice overall. Ton of damage, like I said, some early game poke, but you're looking at the ultimate, you're looking at the ability to traverse the entire map back and forth, so that's really the stress, that's really the threat of the Mirage. I'm not necessarily looking at a specific character to counter it necessarily.
Yeah. And now we see that Warden and Lady Geist getting picked up by the TF2 Boomers. We've seen Warden and Lady Geist last game. We've seen all three of these characters so far in both games that we've spectated. We don't know exactly what happened in the other brackets, in the other games. We can't watch everything at once, and we'd be here all day if we did.
I got 3 screens, dog.
You can watch them all. But I do like the Lady Geist Warden combination. I believe that was actually similar to what the Melee the previous team had. They also had the Lady Geist and Warden, but now we're finally seeing a different character show up here. We've seen Shiv before. We saw Elion on the Shiv do a lot of work, but now we're seeing the Abrams, which is a little bit more of a traditional pick, and in our opinion, should have been picked by the Deadlock dogs last time. And I think Abrams would have fixed a lot of the key issues they were having with their composition.
Shiv being a frontliner totally works. Obviously has the bloodletting on the third ability. An execute means that he can do damage without building damage. There's a lot there that makes it work as a frontliner. Frontliners and tanks are different than controllers and initiators.
Yeah.
And often they are conflated. In the Dynamos, in the Abrams, they are both a tank and a controller. Shiv isn't. So Abrams now with the big with the giant ult from the sky, a lot of tools here to start a fight and control the battlefield in a way that Shiv couldn't. You double down with Dynamo. Hydra Nation have the composition. They want to start a fight and end it. This is big brain draft. I mean, this is not even big brain draft. This is textbook draft.
I really like Hydra Nation's team so far. Like Mirage, Shiv, Abrams, Dynamo feels very, very strong. Don't get me wrong, though, the pocket pick is nice from TF2 Boomers. I feel like they're doing this. Both these teams feel a little bit more balanced than the last team comp that we saw. Lash also a pretty solid pickup from the TF2 Boomers. We're not seeing any Viscous yet, because I think a Viscous could go on either of these teams and work from here from this point. But we'll end up seeing what ends up happening here. But like, I like the Lash pick actually. I think the Lash pick is allowing for a little bit more of that aggression on top of Lady Geist. Like, can be pretty good early game and late game as well. We'll see what ends up. I kind of need to know what these next two picks are, because it determines how balanced this composition feels.
The Vindicta is going to come out here, which is interesting, because so Hydra Nation values Wraith higher than most other North American teams, and you know, there's room for Wraith in this composition. Mirage and Vindicta seem to be some of the primary damage dealers here, so we'll see which direction they go. And an interesting look, because Infernus just got hella buffed.
Yeah, hella buffed. And I feel like the Hydra Nation is a team that does use Infernus pretty well. Like,
yeah, so, Lefa plays Infernus like all day, so very interesting choice here.
The picks so far are interesting. Like, it's very similar characters that we've seen from the last game as well, so we're not going to see too much new except for the Vindicta. So far, the only new ones that we've from the last game is Vindicta Abrams, adding a little bit of spice to this, but overall, it's like a pretty standard comps on both sides.
I mean, absolutely, particularly on Hydra's side with the double initiation composition. I think that's just, for my money, I think the Abrams Dynamo double initiator comp is close to ideal. And
there it is. I mean, we were just waiting for
it. So Lef has stopped playing Infernus as much, but with this change,
yeah. And now we're seeing the Haze. I'm actually with you that I just feel like it would have been nice to fulfill that. But like, honestly, the hype of seeing Infernus, Lefa most likely on the Infernus, is just kind of worth it for me. Like, as a caster, I'm just like, let me see some Infernus action. Infernus is one of the most hype characters, in my opinion, in this game when played at the peak level, which is what we're going to see right now.
Quig, who is most likely piloting this Dynamo, also a strong player, or strong Dynamo player specifically. And yeah, that's Flick's Abrams, which little trivia note, Flick's Paradox is absurdly scary, so that's why we saw it banned. Straight up and down. I think this game is more about the respect ban. It's less about like, oh, we need a Trundle here, and more like that guy's good with that guy, so ban that guy.
That's actually an interesting, good way to point it, because so far we've seen the only character that was consistently banned in the 2 games we spectated was Paradox, right? Paradox was just the only one that like nobody wanted to see, because I think Paradox in particular is just like really scary to deal with someone's like a top 2 Paradox. I just play. I'm a pretty low tier guy, but even then, I'm over here like Paradox is one of the scariest people to fight in this game.
Well, the pick potential is really phenomenal. We look at Wraith as kind of like the character to like assassinate you, pick a guy and kill him. But Paradox does that from a distance, like Bette Midler. So yeah, all the way up for Paradox. Definitely scary. A ranged assassin. P.S. Sharpshooter cards buffed her even more so. Yeah, dog. Ban Paradox.
Yeah, ban Paradox from this game. What? Oh, no, I'm kidding. Okay, so we have the Shiv here with the Vindicta. They're going to try to take down this, not take down the tower, but just put a little bit of pressure, keep the team back. And so Ivy completely alone here? Lash is coming back finally, doing a little bit of rotation to help out the Lady Geist from the Infernus, but yeah, leaving the Ivy alone. The Ivy can't kind of do enough by themselves, so it makes sense to try to like rotate out, try to make a safe push and help your team.
Exactly. Geist, I mean, in my experience and in my opinion, Geist should have the easier time in lane. Down to be told I'm wrong, it's early in the game, of course, but I'm so staunchly in the camp that Lady Geist early is insane because of the base damage value on the soul grenade or whatever it's called. Like, it's just a ton of damage and a ton of poke. So she kind of should win this lane against Infernus, and Infernus kind of starved her out a little bit from a wave, so a little bit of help from Lash comes over, alleviate the bleeding, and now kind of resets, allowing her to kind of maybe win the lane again, but look at it here.
But the Infernus, though, able to take down the Lady Geist. We just talked about that, like, theoretically, right? Theoretically, Lady Geist should have a better matchup into this initial lane against Infernus, but we're talking about Lepo's Infernus here. This Infernus play is just insane.
That is where I was going to come. Man, what a great co-commentator! Just like connecting my
read
dots.
Your mind a little bit there.
Yeah, dog. Like, I staunchly believe that this matchup goes in favor of Lady Geist, and even still now. But Lefa's individual prowess on his character, like he pilots the Infernus so well that he's pressuring the kind of counter matchup. It's not a counter, but so the individual prowess in this game, I think, really reigns supreme over picks. You need some tools on the field. We just saw a game lost because of lack of initiation, I think. But, I mean, in the one-on-one, two-on-twos, who shoots better is often the choice.
Yeah, honestly, though, the fact that Lash has to be pulled off of his lane just to focus on this Infernus is now allowing for the Ivy to be pushed pretty aggressively by Shiv and Vindicta here. If Shiv and Vindicta decide to like push in, realizing that Lash is still there, they know Lash is no longer there.
Yeah.
And like that's what I talked about. Vindicta able to get a kill on the Ivy. They should be able to even take out the tower.
Yeah, and I love this choice by Hydra Nation. Listen, Geist is a character that when she falls behind, it's like Warden. It's really difficult to play because the playstyle demands that you be aggressive. And so if you are playing right, you're swapping health, you're in there getting your health drains. But you can't do that if you're behind. Shift over to lane number 1 here. We got a 2-on-2 fight. Dynamo ult just dinged and comes on through. The punch finishes and Wallach falls down.
Oh my gosh, what a huge Dynamo ultimate there. I mean, already we're seeing multiple kills on the side of Hydration. They're getting a lot of picks here, getting a lot of momentum from these picks. They're going to be able to easily just like take the lane advantage here. I mean, we still see Lash and Lady Geist together against the one Infernus. I think it's like not going to be enough, but thankfully Vindicta and Shiv are going to be able to come in and help out the Infernus, take back this lane control from the Lady Geist.
Ooh, and look at that. Vindicta gets the kill with Assassinate already at the 5K mark. Something I want to, we're kind of talking to the past, but I don't want to push on too far without it. That Dynamo ult, you get your ult at 3K. That Dynamo ult came almost immediately once they got it. So Dynamo farmed his 3k souls, and then said, let's go. Haze saying the same thing and pushing down Quig. So Alex gets the revenge. We'll see if they can follow up onto the 2v1. As Mirage relatively low, but Haze still wants to get on out of there.
Yeah, the Haze.
I would like to see the fight, but
yeah,
sure.
I want to see the fight. I would also like to see the fight, but I also want to see how this Haze buff, or sorry, the Haze nerf will actually affect this general gameplay. But that didn't seem to like stop him from picking this. Infernus and Vindicta able to kill the Lady Geist. We just have 4 people on the right lane now. Shiv finally moving back. Hydration moving back to deal with the 3rd lane. Maybe even try to help with the 2nd lane here. There's a lot of action happening on the 2nd and 4th lane, or 2nd lane right now.
And with these, when Vindicta's in the game, you just keep an eye on the Vindicta net worth and how often she gets a kill. I mean, assassinate. She already at 6k now. That's really where Vindicta kind of becomes a problem. Vindicta at parity, or even a little bit ahead, can't hard carry the game, in my opinion, the way we see some other traditional. But once you get these assassinates online, once you start to get, okay, I'm not crazy. We lost game sound. My fault. I got a little confused. Once you utilize the souls there to launch yourself ahead, and all of a sudden you look up and you see Vindicta. She's 10k soul. What's happening? And like, that's really where it gets scary. So, first 2 kills for her. That's something to keep an eye on. Hydration dives, boink, and gets the kill. Might not get out of here.
Oh,
check
my
that.
God.
Vegas is overwatching, and another kill for the sniper rockets her again up to 7k.
Yeah. So while Haze on the 1st lane could get a kill on the Mirage, it's not really like the kill that's gonna matter here. Abrams can easily just try to defend the 1st lane, but they got the 2 big picks there and just completely dominating every single time. Like the Shiv, but piloted by Hydration here, has just been so good at seeing the opportunities that they have for him and Vindicta to go in and just secure kills.
Right there, we got to see the new Haze Sleep Dagger on display. No longer an instant mez, just a little bit of a slowdown.
Kind of a little underwhelming, though.
Yeah, but overwhelming Quig here as he just steps a little bit too far. The remainder of TF2 Boomers should be able to... No, they're going to rotate. I thought they might have pushed for that Guardian, but instead they're going to rotate and alleviate some pressure elsewhere.
Yeah, it's just that Warden handcuff trap. It's just so strong if you can slow down the opponent. Like, it's really easy to avoid, but in that case right there, that Dynamo was not getting out of that range at all. The Guardian push happening here. Ivy has been actually dying. This is like the 3rd time. If Ivy dies here, this would be the 3rd time that they die.
Well, the ultimate coming out from the Abrams going to be off the mark, and the teleport Ivy goes across the map. Abrams will not follow up. Instead, look for the Haze that's local.
Get the Haze and Lady Geist here. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to push that. That was a clutch teleport on the case of Ivy there. Leffa finally going down to the pocket.
Yeah. I think it was just questionable Abrams ult. What are you doing there, dog? Like, such a small window. This is Rainbow Six. You trying to find a bullet hole? Get out of here, dog.
Maybe he thought it could go through walls. Like, you know, maybe we misread the patch notes. We should have read it. See, Abrams now goes through walls with ultimate. You didn't know that. We should have read more. Silly us. We're just illiterate. But here we go.
That sign can't tell me what to do. I can't read.
That's the exact energy that it feels when I saw the Abrams ult there.
Well, bridge buffs are coming up pretty soon, and everybody should be interested about them. I think that the bridge buffs are obviously a little bit more interesting if you're interesting to the team that's down, but you heard me before, I'm going to say it again. 3,000 soul lead, that's a tie game, dog. What's 3k souls divided by 6? Like half of a tier 1? Shut up and go home. It's a tie game.
Yeah, because we're once again seeing like the soul differential is very minimal, but it's the kill differential that feels very drastic at this moment. Leffa getting another kill on this Lady Geist. Look at the kills. If you look at it right now, only I think it's 4 kills total on the side of the TF2 Boomers. Hydra Nation has like at least 10 kills already as a team.
This is a big win, though. So, unfortunately, Vegas... Well, no, okay, Flick kills the objective. I'm looking at the kill feed here. So, Vegas does get a return kill, and again, this Vindicta is spinning a little bit out of control. Lash trying to control the uncontrollable, and now needs to be consoled, but... I won't rhyme again, don't worry. But
No,
like,
I need you to keep cooking. I need you to keep cooking next time. Continue.
But like, you got to keep an eye on this Vindicta for sure. She's getting out of control. But the bigger deal for me, if I'm TF2 Boomers, Quig got assaulted and popped the ultimate. This Dynamo ult is like a 3 to 4 minute cooldown. This is where you make plays.
Yeah, I mean, they picked up the solar and just tried to bait, and it worked a little bit, but not really. Quig gets taken down by Pocket. It's a 1v1 trade. It's 1-for-1 trade at the moment. This Haze able to actually defend themselves, get a big ult off. Is this ult enough? Yes, it's able to kill Flick, able to kill Leffa. Double kill with that Haze ultimate. Look at that. Just point. You click a simple button, you get 2 kills for free. Look at that.
Play of the game. Fantastic work there by the Haze player. Finds the parry against the Abrams in the last moment, so he doesn't have time to cancel. I think the Abrams does have fleet foot, so he is able to cancel the heavy melee. Not gonna find the cancel. Instead, lands on the parry, immediately goes into the bullet dance and finds both kills. Yeah, that's the Haze play you like to see.
That was delicious. That's why they picked Haze. They said, I don't even need the sleep. Like, I just need a good parry and a good ultimate button. Click 4 to win. And that's the Haze mentality, and I love it.
Solar being run here. Zone over in lane 4, and nobody really playing D.
Yeah, they're not really stopping them at all. Like, Ivy's just over here in the 4th lane, just getting ready for them to try to push. We're gonna see a couple we're gonna see some plays happen here on this 3rd, 4th lane, trying to stop that Solar from happening. Abrams, though, on the 1st lane, just trying to get out with their life, because right now, Ivy and Haze, it's just too much. Able to kill him. Abrams got taken down. We also see that this Lash was able to take down the Mirage.
That is a big play here for TF2 Boomers. They're going to be able to return this urn as well, I think. The Dynamo's here.
Yeah, we have a tie game when it comes to souls. This soul urn actually can be huge for swinging into the favors of TF2 Boomers, but they were able to catch up. And these solid kills that they have, we've seen it. The last couple kills that we've seen have only been in the favor of TF2 Boomers.
Well, here's another fight here. Handcuff's going to be avoided by the little slide out of Quig's Dynamo. Dynamo surrounded, but everybody looking towards the urn here, and Warden's going a little bit nuts, activates the ultimate, and just stands here, picks up the urn, and going to look for the return himself. So, Warden, TF2 Boomers do find the urn, and as a result, now technically tied.
Still, such a close game. It's really anyone's game at this moment. We even see objective-wise, it's still pretty close that way as well. Not seeing like a strong, not like the last game we just saw where we saw a little bit more dominance when it came to taking down objectives. No, this is pretty close.
Not close here in this fight.
No, not at all.
For Leffa, Wallix falls down, so. From the highlight reel to Shacked and a Fool, Haze sees the top and bottom of the moments here.
No, honestly, I love seeing Leffa's gameplay with Infernus. Whenever I play Infernus, it feels like I'm using a Pelican. Whenever Leffa plays Infernus, that is a full-on nuke.
It's like all about that dot damage, baby.
It's like nuke versus crying baby meme. That's me and Leffa's Infernus gameplay.
Gotta make them burn here. So fun stuff for the Infernus player. Extremely tight game so far, but Hydra Nation seems to have been one of the stronger squads out here, just in a vacuum. Like, not talking about their history, just watching this matchup. They seem to play a little bit stronger. Hydration, the team captain, winds up getting another kill here.
Yeah, look at Hydration's individual souls and individual kills. He is going crazy. 5 whole kills to his name, 18,000 souls. He is just, every time he has the opportunity, he takes it. He does not put himself in a position to he doesn't put himself ever in a bad position, which is why his soul count is crazy high. Doing his best to not only be the team captain, but the team carry.
I'm looking at Quig a little bit here in this game. Performance has been fine, and ultimately, MV ults and dies, who cares? But just now, dinging the 10K mark, entering the 5-digit club, and like, he's been kept down, he's been kept out a little bit. TF2 Boomers, I don't even know that they're focusing him. I think Quig just finds himself in bad spots. Warden now trying to deal with Hydration. Hydration's all up in there, fine.
That's what I'm talking about. He knows how to kill, man. Oh my god, every time he's in, like that Warden ult could have been a lot, but it wasn't even letting him get it off. That Warden ult couldn't even come out before he died.
Didn't even use the execute, which is a big deal. 6-0-5 for the team captain here. They're going to look to push in.
Jeez. Jeez. Calm down. I need to drink some water for hydration right now. Jeez.
Oof. We are now watching the spiral. So just a couple of minutes ago at 14 minutes, we were tied 69-69. Now Haze pops the ult really as an escape mechanism as the chase down from Infernus is good. 1 versus 3. Wallix is half HP and Leffa is 0. Important and necessary punish from TF2 Boomers. Infernus got a little too crazy there.
Yeah, but it still ends up being an overwhelming 20,000 soul differential that we, like you said, just a couple, like literally a minute ago, it was even. It was tied 79-79. And now we're just seeing how dominant it is. At least they're able to get a walker out of this push after getting the kill on the Infernus, but I think they're going to be able to successfully defend any big push into anything beyond that. And they're just going to spread out, try to reconvene, keep it going.
Walker was good, though. That's
no,
huge.
That's huge. It is big.
Walker was very, very important here for TF2 Boomers. Again, keeping an eye on the flex slots. It looks like Hydra Nation kind of at that 2 flex slot limit. TF2 Boomers, though, definitely that's where they're going to start feeling it. They're going to start feeling it in these itemization kind of differences. Like the delta between these two squads is going to be an issue, especially with Vindicta kind of just rocketing to the top.
Oh yeah, dude. This is a big
fight here in lane 3, and a little bit of a knock-up coming out from Quig. Warden's behind and doing a ton of damage to everybody on the other side. Actually will get one. Hydration falls, but after he grabs one, Vegas puts an end to the Warden push. And so it's a 1-for-2 exchange here. Hydration falls down, but the rest of the team feeling cute and unable to really make a mark after that fight, but nonetheless, it goes in Hydra Nation's direction.
Was that Hydration's first death?
Yes,
that's actually so impressive, honestly, because it's not like for lack of, like, he wasn't hiding in a corner, he wasn't playing different, he's playing aggressively, and that was the first time he's ever died. And it's not like he just died and got nothing out of it. He got the trade that he needed to get through with that, and now the team is just looking so strong. Look at the lane controls happening right now. They're slowly pushing in and putting a lot of pressure onto the TF2 Boomers.
This Vindicta is certainly a focal point, I think, for a lot of the game here. Hydra Nation. I said earlier that rarely can a Vindicta like hard carry the game by yourself, and I might be checked on that. We'll see how it works out. But obviously the Infernus, not here, Wallix capitalizes, but the Infernus has been doing a lot of work as well. So,
and they picked up the urn, but now he's got the Lash coming in. Lash coming in. Is it going to be? Is it going to lead to a kill? Maybe not. He's kind of alone. He's not alone. There's multiple people out there, but they just kind of put himself in a weird position there. They're going to have to back out the Abrams. Not able to really do much with that, but able to get a Lash ultimate for nothing, essentially, which is great.
Huge. That is a big, big deal. When we look at Hydra Nation, I've been harping on the idea of these initiations, right? Quig makes these moments happen. Flick makes these moments happen, the Abrams player. Like, these are so huge. On TF2 Boomers, Lash has to be that guy, and chasing the ultimate out's a big deal. They're going to chase this player out. Couldn't see who it was.
Haze,
DMB on the Mirage falls down.
Yeah, and on the side, Infernus able to get the return kill on Wallix's Haze. He did die to Haze earlier. He's like, nah. We're gonna trade. We're gonna trade back and forth. It's been kind of an even trade back and forth between the Infernus and Haze multiple times now, because the Haze has been able to like successfully defend themselves against.
This is
Infernus.
wild.
This is actually 5v5 too. It's not even like they have player advantage.
Last time around, so last game we saw this raw pull, and it was about starting the fight and trying to fight the other team, because the team that pulled the mid boss was up a lot of souls. This, they don't have a lead. They're just the audacity, and there's no defense. TF2 Boomers just let them take the Rejuvenator for free.
That's insane. It wasn't even like they were up in player advantage. It was 5v5. They could have come in there. They could have, but I think that's what they wanted. I think that's like the trap that Hydration was saying. They realized if they push in, I think we still win this. I think we have better ult advantage. They kept track of, they probably are keeping track actively of how many ults are available for the enemy team. They know they took out the Lash's ultimate, the one big initiator like that. So I honestly think it was a win-win scenario for Hydra Nation. I think they, go ahead.
I agree. I like the call. Fantastic breakdown on the call. I think TF2 Boomers, though, gotta look for maybe an exit frag, maybe a pick.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go in there because Quig is going to kill everybody. You go in and you try to fight in the circle pit like it's Beatdown Fest 2008, and you are the one that's going to get beat down. They are the ones with the Dynamo ult, with the Abrams ult, with the make you go home ult. But TF2 Boomers, they can come out here and they can kill a guy. They can wait outside the club and take him down. So the complete relinquish of that moment, not great. And Infernus finds himself knee-deep in the enemy yard. TF2 Boomers trying to make it happen.
It ends up being the Vindicta. Vegas able to snipe to completely kill the Warden who used their ultimate. We got the Warden ult out of it. However, Leffa goes down, but it's worth it because they're able to trade the Haze and the Pocket. Big snipe there from Vindicta, and also a Walker.
Free. 4 players down for the single Infernus. And the Dynamo ult not even popped. Abrams going ahead and initiated that fight, so Quig didn't need to hit his 4 button.
That
A
is
plus
so
for the squad.
nice.
And the 2 Cupheads fall down, and it looks like they're going to go for the shrine.
They're going for the shrine. Okay. If they get 1 shrine, yep, they got it. That's so much value out of that push, all for an Infernus. And honestly, they don't mind because they got the fast spawns for the Infernus anyway. Yeah. It was everything they did there was just exactly what they had to do. They got everything they did was just free, and they got so much out of that. There goes Lash. Lash gets the kill on Abrams.
That's gonna be a good look for Mirror Man. 1 bite back, not gonna do it for me. We need to see a little bit more violence from TF2 Boomers, but now a little bit scary. Quig tries to find the ult out of pocket and does so. The follow-up damage is not there. Turned around. Elo, Fincher, and Wallachs combined for the 2K, and now 4 players standing up in Hydra Nation jerseys. And Hydration says, all right, that's enough. Puts 1 down. But Salty and Deathy follow on up. The team captain is the only one driving. TF2 Boomers are winning this team fight. And what do they do after the fact?
Man, Hydration's still able to get another pick on Salty as well. But Hydration goes down again, and it looks like TF2 Boomers up in player advantage finally can say they successfully won this fight. The other team has to recoup. But let's talk about that Quid ultimate. Quid just barely crossing the 20,000 souls mark. Quid, again, like in this scenario, like just not getting enough value out of the Dynamo ultimates and just being caught in the open. His death was what spiraled that entire team fight to be a loss.
And here's the thing. So Quig, one of the premier Dynamo players for sure. And I think this is like a core... It's core competency of playing Fat Boy. You have to not be afraid to pop your ultimate in imperfect situations. You're not going to get the 6-man black hole every time, so stop holding your ult for that moment. Sometimes when there's a guy around the corner, you do want to pop that ultimate. Sometimes when Pocket's in midfield, you do want to warp stone and go for that and make that happen. That one's bad, and he looks silly for it. And, ooh, cool, art update. He looks silly for it, yes. But big picture, that type of decision-making to just like, all right, I'm going to let it fly here, I don't hate that. I hate the fact that there weren't enough players to back him up, and I hate that he was in the middle of nowhere, and I hate that TF2 Boomers were able to answer back as fiercely as they did because Wallachs was just sitting outside. But the quick decision to just, like, burn the ult, every second your ult is off cooldown just means you're not using it.
No, definitely. I mean, either way, it just wasn't enough for them to use that at the time. But we're seeing another team fight happening here. Lots of ultimates coming out. Pocket getting a kill on Vindicta. However, Abrams able to get a kill on Lash. We see the Infernus ultimate. We see a ton of other damage coming in, aggressively pushing in on the Warden. Warden now goes down. Hydration able to kill Pocket. And we're just seeing one more. Can we get the last one? Come on, can we get the last one? We do! Haze, these 4 are down. All that's left is an Ivy and a Lady Geist. That is not going to be enough to stop the onslaught. And in exchange, they just lost Vindicta. But Vindicta will be coming in faster than TF2 Boomers. Because that was Vindicta's, I believe, she hasn't died that often, to be honest.
Yeah, not at all. Huge pickup here for the Infernus player. getting the purple bridge buff. We love to see that. Also, if we had team fight recaps, if I could see who did the most damage in that fight, Infernus is all the way up top. Y'all saw, I loved this. So Infernus, there's one way out into that hallway, which is not a good place to be anyway. So Infernus goes, okay, I'm going to coat the floor. The entire hallway is filled with fire. If you want to go walk down that hallway, fine. Either you walk into my team and we kill you, or you walk into the building I just lit on fire and we kill you. A lot of these games, I mean, not even MOBA, shoot, a lot of competition is about forcing your opponent to make the impossible decision. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. That's what Infernus contributed to that team fight and made him win it.
Oh, 100%. I think it's just like using Infernus as kind of a semi-trapper there was really smart, because I think you can just play Infernus more aggro with your team, but he decided, I'm going to just catch them on the flank, and I mean, it's going to pay off every time. He's done that multiple times in this game, actually. He's been using his fire floor, the lava walk, like every time he's been using it, it's gotten so much damage and so much value. He just knows exactly where the enemy team is going to be walking in, and that's just like the hard reads that you get from playing Infernus as much as Lefa does.
And that's also one of the changes that we saw in last night's patch. Infernus' Flame Dash at that tier 3 now has a lower cooldown, and it also has a charge. So there's multiple charges on that dash once he levels it up to that tier 3. So going to be available more often, and it's always done a ton of damn. 3 charges on that dash. You can dash in and dash out. No problem.
I just think it's so funny. I love that when we see Infernus, we think, yeah, this guy needs buffs. Like, this is the guy that needed it the most. Oh, right my there. Lord.
He can dash again, no problem.
And he already coded that entire flock. Are you doing it again? You're just like not letting him walk back into that direction, which gives him this freedom to just take down some of these minions, just get some more value, push aggressively in this third lane.
That's what makes Infernus so scary to me, is that like Wraith, Haze, these are hard carries. Infernus is also a late game hard carry, but he's got so much area denial. You want to dive him? Oh, well, he's going to turn on the bomb. You want to chase him? Oh, well, you're going to lose half your HP if you follow him. Like, there's so much area denial in the hard carry kit. Makes him a very scary player, or a very scary character. And when you've got players like Lefa piloting it, woof. Just so much control out of a character that does so much damn.
And right now we're seeing like a lot of really passive and smart decision making here on the side of Hydra Nation. They're in the driver's seat right now. They don't have to be the aggressors at this point, and they want to get this mid boss as either just a way to bait or guarantee it, because they know that the enemy team is too afraid of them. Oh. And I think they're just like, or maybe they're even waiting for them to maybe go for it.
They're just waiting for a pick. They're waiting for somebody to make a mistake and then Quig and Flick jump on them and win the game. That's the idea here. 28 minutes in, respawn timers are going to be towards the 60-second mark-ish, and that's a big deal. They're looking for a pick. You've got Mirage by himself, split pushing, and Warden split pushing. Mirage can join the team fight at any time, so better situation for Hydra Nation, and that's something you're looking for. They're going to start the mid-boss and look for a party.
Yeah, the mid-boss is definitely going to be their key to victory here, because at minimum, it's going to just give them the mid-boss buff of having the faster respawns, having the stronger minions. But I do think they want to try to use it as bait, but I don't think that TF2 Boomers are going to necessarily want to take the bait. They might just go for picks after the fact if they do go for the mid-boss.
Yeah, but they've got to go for it this time.
They gotta. They can't.
You've lost this fight in picks and bans, but you can find the exit frags. Look, Abrams already up. He knows they're going to come looking. One player in the pit already. Rejuvenator goes the way of Hydra Nation. Everybody in yellow jerseys gets grouped up by Lash, thrown on the ground, and the follow-up is huge. Deathy gets 2. Elo Fincher gets 2, and a third. And Wallach finds 1 as well. The Rejuvenator will cut the respawn timers down to 20 seconds, but the blue team now have a moment. They're going to push up lane 2 and lane 3. That'll get them the tier 2 in lane 3 and converge onto the walkers as well. Big equalizer moment for TF2 Boomers.
Jeez, that's exactly what we told them. That's last time when they didn't push the mid-boss. If they just did that, that could have been it. That could have been what won them that fight. But like I said, last time though, they didn't have that Lash ultimate. Remember, they got the Lash ultimate a little bit too early there. That's why they went for the mid-boss. But because the Lash ultimate was up, that Lash ultimate was humongous paired with Abrams there.
Oof. Vindicta wins the fight over the bridge buff. Warden getting the bridge buff is very big for the Boomers. But here comes Vindicta. Hydration bites back and dunks down on Ivy here, who was the one contesting the bridge buff, so not just a wild pick, a reason for the Ivy to fall down. And I don't... At this point in the game, if you get picked like that, it's a reason to make fun of you. Not this time. I think Ivy made the right choice, but still, the Boomers find themselves playing defense.
And now it looks like Hydra Nation going to try to maybe get the second shrine up here, go for a big team fight. Flick able to get a kill. Their team able to kill the Pocket. Pocket goes down. Still far, it's still pretty not even, but you know they're doing their best right now. TF2 Boomers defending as much as they can.
Well, the Patron is now being targeted with both shrines down. Vindicta on the ground for now. Warning.
Oh, Patron is
they're being careful here. Okay, the fallback here from Hydra Nation. I love this choice. Boomers, they don't want to chase here. This is often the moment where you do want to chase, but with two players down, only 4 strong, what's going to happen is you're going to chase to the 20-yard line. Hydra Nation's going to turn around and then put it in your ear hole. So a really good choice for Boomers not to chase down here. Instead, just, all right, we're going to take our gun out on the porch and make sure you don't approach. Y'all better leave, but we're just going to yell aggressively from the porch. We're not going to actually chase you out because that would be a problem.
Like, get off my lawn. Nope, just that's all they're doing right now, right? But I think it was just so wise in Hydra Nation. They realized, like, hey, at this point we're kind of like not in the strongest defensive position if they come back in with all their ults, and we don't want to just like we don't want to lose this momentum we have. And now they use the map control they have to get soul urns, get just full lane control, get more souls again, and maybe even upgrade to get the maximum items they can get right now. I mean, this is the second time this Abrams have gotten the soul urn in this match.
Abrams getting the soul urn here. I mean, that's really Vegas. He got all the money in the world. No need to get some extra souls. Mirage also doing some damage. Really, you want your tanks to be tankier. And so you take a look at the itemization coming out from Abrams. There's a little bit of room for some higher level green cards for sure. I'm looking at Fortitude. I'm looking at Colossus, right? You can absolutely make these moves. He got 900 souls in hand. He broke. So going for the soul urn for Abrams specifically, often I say that the soul urn is like a bait. They have a specific goal in mind with this urn, which is why we're seeing it delivered.
Yeah, and now Abrams is going to be in a much stronger position to just be the tankier tank that he needs to be for them to get the final finish here. I mean, like I said, it's looking like Hydra Nation is just in the driver's seat still most of this game. Even with that big comeback push from TF2 Boomers, it's just Hydra Nation has just more consistently been able to just output and get more map advantage. Just look at all the Guardians that Hydra Nation still has. There's just so many things stopping.
Well, a half hour in, and Hydra Nation, if you're just joining us, if you're newer to the Deadlock community, first of all, welcome. What's good? I'm Macro.
Yeah, I'm Macro. Hi.
We're Space Station Gaming's Underground, in partnership with Overnight Oats, by the way. If you go ahead and you make a purchase on Overnight Oats, part of the money gets contributed to the Oats Overnight. My mistake. I apologize to our brand partners. Oats Overnight. If you purchase something from them, part of that purchase goes to the prize pool. It's that cool. So, again, shout out our friends at Oats Overnight for helping us make this happen. Space Station Gaming putting up, and Oats Overnight refusing to shut up. So,
I love
whether or not it's Hydra Nations is the question mark. This is the team to beat. They are the #1 team in North America for all metrics, but they have been beaten. They got brought to a map 3 in Fight Night, and we have seen them actually lose to a squad once or twice, but I belabor that once or twice point. The TF2 Boomers have held their feet to the fire, though, here, Macro, and I've been impressed.
No, definitely. The TF2 Boomers have made it not just a free win for like Hydra Nation at all. The TF2 Boomers have been very strong defensively. The moment that they get these openings, the moment that like Hydra Nation makes any mistakes, TF2 Boomers immediately capitalize on it. However, in this particular position they're in, I still feel like Hydra Nation, it's just up to them to get one solid pick, and then it could completely be over from that point. The patron is fully weakened at this point, so they cannot afford for anybody on the TF2 Boomers to be out of position in a bad spot. So now all they got to do is just keep farming and farming and farming. We're playing a farm simulator until we see a mistake happen. Here comes Warden. Can Warden get this first pick to start us off?
Well, he's going to lower the stamina real quick, so Miran's going to have a harder time getting on out, but he does. And in fact, Vindicta from up top.
No!
The assist off the Mirage, who comes back for that fight. I'm sure Vindicta's not thrilled about DMB taking that kill. She wanted that souls from the assassinate. But I digress.
That is
Much ado about nothing
so
as the tank grabs
crazy.
another player. But help from the Pocket. Great assistance by Pocket to show up and shove players out. Quig's ultimate's going to grab one, but there's no follow-up. And so as a result, Salty is dying way on the other side of the team fight to the hand of the Infernus. And now everybody groups up. DMB grabs Mirror Man and Boink falls down to Vegas. It's
Haze
a 4-for-0 with Hydra Nation looking all the way good as number 5 falls down on the Haze player.
Yeah, this is it. This is the beginning. This is the beginning of the end, though. Full 60-second timers for multiple players on TF2 Boomers. Pocket cannot solo 1v6 here. This is going to be the end, and I feel like Hydra Nation knows it. They just got to make sure this Pocket gets taken down, and that very minimal deaths. You look at the death count, right? With the exception of Quig and Leffa was being a little bit more aggressive and being the main person that would start a lot of these team fights. It makes sense why 7 of those deaths were the same as Quig's. But besides them, majority of the time they were barely ever dying while doing tons of damage, racking up tons of kills, significantly more kills. Especially 17 is an outrageous number of kills for Hydration there.
Dog, Hydration, man, insane. I mean, first of all, he's giga rich, 52,000 souls, more so than the 9-kill Vindicta. Like, kind of wild, but like you brought up, 17 kills is the also the lobby damage leader, or excuse me, the team damage leader. Like,
yeah,
playing a tank character, coming through with 29,000 damage. This is, dude, this is why I mean, this is why I like the game, but also why